Today we're talking about the best buys in rum, the biggest bang for your buck, and I'll share 4, maybe even 5 rums perfect for cocktails that I personally think provide pretty good or great value. And in addition to just my opinion and thoughts, I asked the Make and Drink Patreon for some of their best buys, and I'll share some of those responses with you as well. Now I find this concept here of a video interesting. Here is what I think, but I'm also just one person. And it's okay if we have different opinions and like different things. And because of that, that's why I thought it would be fun to open it up to more people to get more opinions here. Now, you can also participate as well in a future video, even if you're not a Patreon member, and I'll share those details later on in this video. I guess the first thing to do here is to define what a best buy is or bang for your buck. And I know it's arbitrary, but for me, I'm thinking quality of the product versus the price. It doesn't have to be $10, also doesn't have to be $100. It's something that you think could or maybe should be worth more than what you're paying for it. So let's start with our first rum, Plantaray Xaymaca. Comes in at $25.99. It used to be $22 for me. It's 43% ABV and 100% Jamaican pot still rum. And it's that 100% Jamaican pot still rum that is the real unique characteristic here. It's kind of hard to find that in the United States, at least in an affordable price range for cocktails. Now, it's not the same as Smith & Cross. That is a little more flavorful, higher proof. But if you're looking to bring that unique Jamaican flavor and funk, the bright tropical notes, then this is one of the best buys out there, at least in my opinion, of course. Not my favorite rum on its own, but adding it to a cocktail with something else is great. Next up is a light white rum, and it's Denison, and we'll call this lightly aged Denison white rum. It says 5 years, but that's up to 5 years. I personally do not care how long a light or white rum is aged, only how it tastes. And this one comes in at about $20 for me. It's 40% ABV, and it's mainly rums from Trinidad. I've done a lot of taste tests with this, including several videos here on YouTube, and this always lands in the top for me in this category of rum. And you can find a lot of entry-level white light rums for the $10 to $15 price range, but for my money, I would be happy to spend $20 for something like this, which I think is like twice as good as those. Now, sometimes you can even find this for like $15 to $17. Just a great all-around daiquiri rum. Now, one small caveat and disclaimer here is that, I don't know if you know this, but I don't know where you live, except for maybe like 4 or 5 of you. The rest of you, I don't know where you live, so I don't know what state you live in. I don't know if you live in this country. I don't know what the laws are to sell things where you live. And you're gonna have different options than I do. I'm sharing with you what I have locally available to me, whether you're in the United States or you're in Canada, the UK, Australia, Germany, Sweden, India, the Netherlands, France, Poland, Brazil, or Denmark, because I know, I just looked at the analytics. That's where you're all from, unless you're using one of those VPNs. I don't really know how those work. The rums I share here are just the rums that I have available to me and the prices that are available to me. But I do want to know eventually, and I'll remind you at the end of this video, for the best buys for you. Like, what rums do you think are the best buy where you live? Because you're going to have totally different rums depending on where you live. Another bang for your buck is Karuba. And yes, I know it is sometimes hard to find, sometimes very hard to find. Sometimes it's also plentiful, but it is one of my favorite rums, one of my most used rums, and just an excellent dark rum for cocktails. I got this one for $20.99, and that's for 1 liter, and it's 40% ABV. Now, it is a dark rum or a black rum, and it is Jamaican. It kind of is a category that a few rums fall into, and I don't want to go too deep into dark rum. Did a whole video on that. I have opinions about what dark rums are that might not be the same as everyone else. And like I said, if you want to know more about that, I have a whole video exploring all the dark rums that I have. And the last of my top 4 best buys in rum is the one and only Wray & Nephew White Overproof Rum. It's $22, 63% ABV, and like I said, it is a white rum, a white Jamaican overproof rum. Now, there are some caveats with this bottle right here. First of all, right now as I'm filming, it's kind of hard to find. It's sold out a lot of places, and places that have it are selling this for about $30. But over the last several years, I've seen it range from just under $20 to $22 pretty low on this one, but I got this for $22. If you can find it for under $25, that's where I think it provides the most value. This rum on its own, for me, and I think most people, it's not going to be your favorite, daiquiri rum or sipping rum, but if you're looking for that big Jamaican flavor in an unaged rum, then this is a category of itself, which is Jamaican overproof rums. Recently, my friend Arminder and I did a taste test of the 4 available white overproof Jamaican rums on his channel. It's a great video to check out. And one of the things we picked up is that while they all are quite a bit different, the Wray & Nephew as well as Rumfire in a cocktail, in my opinion at least, they're definitely interchangeable. While the other ones are a little bit different, for my money, if I had to choose one of those rums, I still would choose the Worthy Park Overproof. But when we're talking about value here, it's hard to beat Wray & Nephew, the original white overproof Jamaican rum. Before I get to the Patreon answers, there is one more rum that I wanted to add here as a bonus, and that's the 10-to-1 white rum. It's 45% ABV, and the main reason it's not included in my best buys is it's not my favorite. It's not like one of my favorite rums. I think it's good. I think it has a place. But the reason I wanted to include it is the price. Now, for the last year to 2 years, I've seen this range anywhere from like $15 to $17 for 45% ABV rum that has like a lot of character. It reminds me a lot of Probitas, but even more of those big, bold Jamaican flavors, like a little bit of that industrial note, but not too much. So if you're looking to add to a cocktail on the cheap, this is one of the best options out there. It is different from Wray & Nephew, but I think if you come across this for $15, $16, $17, then it's something you should definitely pick up. Now, before we get to the 4 best buy rums according to the Make It Drink Patreon, I have a request from all of you. I want to find the most recommended rum, because that type of information doesn't really exist. If you search for that online, you'll get just some random guy's opinion or some list website. They don't really know what they're talking about. And maybe even a video comes up, like this video, for instance, might come up in the future. So I thought, let's expand this beyond the Make and Drink Patreon to everyone here. And there's a link below in this episode's description to a Google form. And on that form, you can give 2 recommendations: your most recommended rum to someone who is new to rum, and then someone who's already into rum. And this can be anything you want. And my goal here is that hopefully we get several hundred, if not hopefully thousands of people contributing, so we can find out like what really is the rum that is recommended the most. Whether you're just getting into this or you've been in this a long time, it doesn't really matter. I'm just looking for everyone's raw opinion on it. So when you go to that link below in the description and the pinned comment, you'll go to the Google form, and if you could just fill it out very simply, you don't have to write your thoughts down, but just the brand name plus the rum you're talking about. So if you could all take, I don't know, like 10 to 20 seconds to do that, that would be awesome. The more people we have contribute, the better, because then we can see like what really is the most recommended rums out there. So what did the Make and Drink Patreon have to say about their best bang for your buck rum? Well, the first one they recommended was the Denizen Merchant's Reserve, the up to 8 years blend. It's a blend of rums from Jamaica, Martinique, 43% ABV, and you can find it for $32. Gets a lot of love from the Mai Tai world and the Smuggler's Cove world. It makes a great single bottle Mai Tai, and it's no wonder why people recommend it so much. It does have a lot of value since it is a blend, essentially, of multiple rums to make a great Mai Tai that has been curated by Martin Cate. Next up, it's no surprise to me, it's a Hamilton 86. It's $25, 43% ABV. The Demerara rum, and it is one of the most affordable Demerara rums that you're gonna find. It is great in cocktails. It works well, especially with other rums, and it brings that Demerara flavor, the Guyana rum type flavor that you're often looking for to complement other rums in a cocktail. Now, it can be a little bit difficult to find if you're overseas, but hey, this is the list according to the Make and Drink Patreon, and this came in 3rd overall. The second most common one to come up is a surprise for me because it's Smith & Cross, and Smith & Cross comes in from like $35 to just over $40. 57% ABV, 100% pot still rum from Jamaica. Now, I want to be absolutely clear. I don't want to mix words here because I do like Smith & Cross. I know there's a Smith & Cross mafia out there, and anytime you see a recipe online that calls for rum or whiskey or a liqueur or orange juice or whatever it is, they're response is to sub that out for Smith & Cross because it is God's gift to this world. But I'd still like it. Don't come for me in the comments. But hey, that's not the point of what we're doing now. This isn't about what I think is of value. It's about what other people think is of value. And they think Smith & Cross is a best bang for your buck rum, which I disagree with. But I still like it. And last but not least, it's the rum that is considered the best bang for your buck, the best value. That's Plantaray OFTD. I also 100% agree with this, and had I checked everyone's list first and then made my list, I would have put this on there. I don't know why, but when I was going through things, I wasn't looking at this. I also had the Plantaray Zymaca, so I didn't want to double up the Plantaray there. But this probably is, without a doubt, the absolute best value in all of rum. For me, it comes in at $33.99, and that's 1 liter, but you're getting a 69% ABV rum. Couple things here. First of all, it's a blend of different rums. It has a ton of flavor. It adds so much dimension to cocktails, and being at 69% ABV, it is way overproof, and you can, in my opinion, sub this in for a 151. This can often be the seasoning that your cocktail needs, that it's lacking, that you can sprinkle in to bump up the flavor and intensity. You don't always need to use salt. Sometimes you just need to use OFTD. So there you have it, the best buys in rum, the best bang for your buck. And I want to know in the comments below, let me know what you think are the best buys in rum. Is there something that was missing from these selections? Now, there are no right and wrong answers. And also, like we mentioned earlier, I'd like your help. Go check out that pinned comment in the episode description. Let me know what the most recommended rums are from you. If you're recommending rums to me or someone else, I want to know what they are. Now, don't tell me those in the comments. In the comments, I want to know about your best buy. Instead, just make sure you go to that Google form, submit that. I'll give it a month or two, and then I'll come back with a new video that's the most recommended rum in the world according to the people. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like below. Consider subscribing to this channel if you have not already, and otherwise, I will see you on the next one.